I think it shouldn't have been nearly this hard for Cameo to get going in the first place. Like it just, he had to knock on so many doors for an idea that, in my opinion, was brilliant from the get-go. I really thought that, and it shows now that he's raised at $1 billion, but like $120 million in revenue. And I think that if you have something that's that big, that can be that big, not everyone can miss. You can't all be like, oh, I don't know. That's a media, influencer company. It should be in LA. We've had this attitude that if it's media in LA and it's like fresh, it's out west. And if it's like fintech and it's very buttoned up Wall Street, then it should be out east. In Chicago, we're the fabric that puts it together. We're, ag tech, insurance, SaaS, like we're all these nuts and bolts.
Sure.
And I don't think that's the case. I think the interest of the type of founders who are coming to you, which in Chicago are a very diverse group, because you've got the city of Chicago, but then you also have Northwestern and University of Chicago and University of Illinois and UIC and all these other, schools, Loyola, that bring people from all over the world. And so Chicago has done a really good job with 1871 and other things to like start embracing technology in the community. Technori, I think, did a nice job of playing a role as from a media perspective on that. But there's still this like, oh, shucks. And it drives me absolutely nuts, because I think of like, I think I tweeted this out a little while ago. If I asked you what were the top, industries in Chicago, media is not going to be one of them. And media marketing and fintech would be the top 3. And then there's like insurance and legal and things like Relativity. But we need to get past this risk aversion, unless you want every one of these Whopper rounds being led by the coast and being led by Andreessen Horowitz and Google and the rest, then you got to step up. And I think the risk aversion, revenue first, I like it. I think it's the reason that our numbers bear out in Chicago, that we have higher return on investment. But what's the number? Like, would you rather have a $5 million return on $1 million or $100 million or $1 billion? And at a certain point, we got to step up and be, more risky and take shots on big, long game plays like Cameo and own them. And I think lastly, the other part of this is like, we really are and have embraced minority and female founders in Chicago's ecosystem. And it's something that's important. Long-Term Capital just launched their kind of founder fund. But you know what? We do a lot of talking about it. We do a lot of consulting and stats. And at the end of the day, we are better than most cities in the country, but we're better at the bottom. We're on the floor. The whole world of investing is on the floor when it comes to investing in minority and diverse founders. And I think that that's something that Chicago, because of how we're built, could actually be a leader in. And I think if you started saying, not only do we invest in female minority founders, but we invest more money in them than others do, I think that's a huge part and would make us more attractive.